Aloha. We are a Hawaii business podcast where we collect success stories of business leaders and culture creators to inspire the next generation of local entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Shaka Tank.
Yo, so what up, guys? Hey, so we got Sage back on the pod.
What's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
We got Chad and Pono, and yeah, man, 2025 has been an interesting start, man. You know what I mean? Want to catch up with you? Say, what you been up to, brother? Like, how's it been so far?
It's 2025 has been good. A lot of big projects launching. So last year was a lot of building, was a lot of rebirth, a lot of rebranding, a lot of optimization, right? A couple of businesses that we had. What we revamped was our we had a virtual assistant company. So what we were doing is we were staffing virtual assistants for people to give businesses and solopreneurs more leverage.
Oh wow, okay.
In their business,
From locally or VOA?
Globally.
Okay,
VA style, right?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of we have just armies in Philippines, India, and everything.
I just got a VA in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Bro, yes, everything.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
And they love, the thing about it is that
Mr. Daniel.
yes,
I was like-
they love to work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they love to work, and they love to follow what your vision is. Like they buy into it. You know, my question is we all have businesses, we all deal with multiple different people, right? How often or how much of a challenge is it for a visionary to get somebody to buy into their vision? Right. And when you hire people, a lot of times they come in for what? A paycheck. Right? How often do we get somebody coming in for you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We'll look at Tesla or SpaceX. How much people you think is going there just for a paycheck?
Right.
They're going there for the future.
Yeah.
They're going there because they believe in something that this dude's doing. You know what I'm saying? And so when we started to go to the Philippines, how that started was I build businesses.
You actually went there?
I didn't personally go there, but we have friends that go there.
Got you.
But I didn't personally. So I partnered with this guy in Jersey, and he was a recruiter for years.
Right.
And so he was a salesman, but he recruited hundreds of people for his teams. And his dad was this coach who coaches one of the biggest talent events. So what it is you'll go in, you'll get headshots done, and then you'll get interviews with the casting directors. So this guy's been doing it. My partner Brandon, he was the secret sauce. He was the guy that watched Russell Brunson's. He was the guy that knew all the funnels. He knew all of this. And he was a recruiter. So what he did is he would go get virtual assistants to help his dad, to replace him, right? And the dad then won, 2 commas and everything. So they did really well. Well, when I went into it, we were doing marketing and just building businesses. And, a one-man army is not easy, right? And so we needed help. And we were traveling a lot, selling from stage. And so we needed help. Because if we're traveling so much, that's less time for us to work on the thing, right? And so he actually introduced me. He's like, bro, get a VA.
So real quick, just so listeners can understand what Sage is talking about, and I don't know if you guys have experience with VAs, but it's been pretty awesome to see. I didn't even know I've had VAs in the past too. The one I got now has been a lot different. So there are different type of VAs and levels to VAs.
Yeah.
So a VA is a virtual assistant, and basically it's almost like it's a fraction of the cost of a local employee, right? It's it could be anywhere from how much an hour you think?
It could be anywhere from, to be real, $3 an hour,
right,
up to $100.
Right. So just so listeners know, because one of the things about the Shaka Tank, we tried to expose and give exposure to different business tips, practices, and resources so that they can understand. And I think, Sage, one of the things I wish I did earlier in my career, if I had known about VAs that I can get at $3 an hour, because I have some VAs at $3 an hour.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's these are little competitive advantages. So let's say for you, Chad, because I was going to talk to you about this too, right? It's like you're going to appearances, you're doing speaking engagements, you're getting booked out to do conferences and coaching and these things. Who's managing all these other things? Like you have to do it, right? And
You can't be everywhere. You can't be everywhere at the same time. You got to delegate.
right. And like for you too, Pono, right? Like you're running the operations at Inspire Collective. And by the way, shout out to Inspire Collective. This episode is sponsored by Inspire Collective, where they bring entrepreneurs together and put together these events and put like-minded people together to network. But you're running how, so Sage, could you actually, like, I'm a little versed into it. Pono, Chad, I'm sure you'd be curious a little bit more. Could you break it down? Like, so $3 an hour, how does it work? What do they do, these VAs?
So, well, they can do anything. So $3 an hour is going to be for very basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're not asking them to think too much. You're pretty much asking them, hey, it's a paper pusher almost. It's like, can you check my emails? Can you put it in a box? Honestly, those positions, though, AI is going to be able to do. I'm going to be straight up. And that's something that we had to deal with, right? But so how do you delegate? Document everything, give it to them, and create an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure. Create your steps and pretty much give them exactly what you want them to do, right? I mean, it's the same thing as, like, right now everybody's on ChatGPT. Everybody's using AI. What are you doing to AI? You're asking them and telling them that this is what I want. If they don't give you what you want, then you're prompting it to, like, no, but this is what I want. So a good way of thinking about it, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur or whatnot, is go and learn how to project manage. Right? Because if you learn how to project manage, then you can understand, like, okay, I need these tasks done within this phase or this stage. And when it gets to this stage, I need these tasks done. And then what happens is you become just a manager and an overseer of your ecosystem, right? And so that's the leverage, right? That's the leverage. Now, I was sharing that that's how I started with the virtual assistants. And I think everybody can benefit from virtual assistants, right? And so I also mentioned that there's this crutch right now in that business, and that's called artificial intelligence. That's called AI, right? And AI is going to take over. Agents are going to take over and whatnot. But as everybody knows, when you go and put in a prompt, AI is going to give you 20 pages of things to do.
Yeah.
You have no idea what those are. You know what I mean? Maybe you're learning it, but then you have 20 things to do. How much time do you have to do all those 20 things that you just learned about? That you're like, okay, I got to do marketing. Now I got to do SEO, blah, 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 blah. The list goes down, giving you the strategy, giving you the task, giving you the growth engine, fulfillment engines, and everything. But then now you're a new entrepreneur using AI. I think you can solve all problems. And you're like, oh, I have the solution here. I have no idea how to do all this right now. A VA, you can go and copy that and say, here you go.
Yeah.
These are my logins.
Yeah.
Do this.
So real quick. So I think this is an interesting topic that maybe, like, we could just talk about. I'm a big believer, they say first mover advantage. What that means is, like, when you are the first into an industry or you're first into this idea, you have first mover advantage, meaning, like, you have a head start over everyone else. Right. To Sage's point, like, I know we're talking about VAs, but he brought up a really good topic that would be great to talk about because, I think all the listeners and viewers should be thinking about this right now. Probably the most innovative technology that we have today is AI. 100%. And I'm sure a lot of people are scared or nervous or not confident enough to say, hey, I can play in this space. But I would like to say right out the gate, like, dude, I'm the type of person I like to jump in. I might not, like, figure everything out right away, but, like, me jumping in gives me first mover advantage because I'm just playing with it and I have no idea what I'm doing. But over time, it starts to make more and more sense. And I think that is kind of, I would love to encourage most people to start exploring AI right now because I think it's that powerful, right? In anything. So in coaching, in management, in virtual assistants, and all the, like, and I stopped you at when you said you have to, like, program scope of SOP. You said standard operating procedures. I love that word because I don't think that locals do that enough.
No.
We got to go from free. How many businesses have one? You know what I mean? Like, especially entrepreneurs, like solopreneurs, they don't have a SOP.
Ask them what their sales process is. Right? How much people have a sales process?
Yeah.
That's what an SOP is. You know what I mean? It's a standard operating procedure, right? It's literally a step by step. Right? How much people have that? It's like, oh, no worries, I got it.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed a lot of,
wing them, bro. Hey, it's all good. I'll figure it out.
No worry.
Love it, right? So
I only get you so far, honestly.
I'd love to talk about this right now, right? So there's like the whatever. What did you say? Just say it right now. That word.
Wing 'em?
Wing'em.
Wing.
Yeah,
Wing 'em.
There's wing'em, and then on the opposite side of it is SOP. Right? We could agree to that right now, right?
Yeah, there's a on the fly, make it up as you go, right? Or there's a actual set plan.
I'd love to talk
procedure. I mean, I think that's, and I just from my understanding, right, I'm learning too. So AI can help you with preparation, plan. VA helps with execution, right? It's like they can help get those tasks done.
Well,
Is that kind of?
Well, yeah, it's human capital. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. It's human capital. It's what do you not want to do, Chad?
Right. What do you want to offload?
Yeah, what do you want to offload?
And get. I don't want to just say it's not cheap labor, but it's more efficient and manageable than an actual
right
in-person assistant, right?
So if I can get into this more, right? So I think this is a great topic for entrepreneurs and anyone that's trying to achieve success. Is I like just those 3 letters, SOP, right? Standard operating procedures. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs do. What'd you say? Sorry,
Wing 'em.
You know, how do you go from wing'em to SOP? I mean, that's a great topic right there. And I think that, you know, on our last episode, we were talking about like reading books and being around mentors, and what you're really doing is you're gathering different SOPs. Like, hey, what's your standard operating procedure? What worked for you? In fitness, right? Like, you could wing them, but you ain't gonna get those. Like, you just talked about that right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, maybe we could, you know, I'm curious, Pono, for you, right? Like, you got a staff of how many people you oversee?
For the church, I oversee about 10 people on staff, and for my business, 4. So and I have VAs too for my business.
Yeah.
And dude, they're awesome. I love them.
So
shout out to my VAs.
Outside of the staff, though, how many people do they manage? Because you are overseeing roughly how many people in general?
You know what?
Volunteers, everything.
That's a great question.
So roughly,
roughly, probably not 100 or so.
Roughly around 100.
Probably.
So for you, you can't just wing them.
No, definitely not. Everything is SOP. Like when, for instance, if there's an Instagram post that needs to go out, there's an SOP. Like essentially, an SOP is like a trigger. You know what I mean? Like, so something comes in, a trigger needs to happen. A domino effect of all these things due to, you know, there's approval processes. There's something that's creating graphics. There's all these things, you know. And I'm blessed, honestly, because my wife, she is the trigger here at the church. She's the project manager, and she's got SOPs down. Like, I am a wing'em guy. Like, I will wing it. I will wing it till, you know.
Cut the mic. Here's my
but my wife, she's like the super opposite. She's like, everything falls, you know, on the systems and structures. And so she's like SOP this, you know, and, you know, and I love it because, you know, we get to work really close together.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's like, you know, sparks fly, and sometimes, you know, instead of SOP, she calls me an SOB, but, you know, at the end of it, you know, we get through it. And, yeah, I mean, like even Bob right now, who's out there recording this podcast, for him though, it's like, hey, we want to record a podcast. There's a SOP that needs to happen. The room needs to get cleaned, and we need to do this and set up all. You know, there's a
step by step.
Right.
There's probably a
process.
There's probably a huge gap right there too in Hawaii. Yeah, like there are, and you probably can see it. It's like you meet people, you're like, that guy's a SOP dude, and then that's a wing'em dude. Is it? Am I hitting right now? Is this?
I think it's humans in general.
Okay, yeah.
I think the whole winging it, I don't think it's smart to be winging it right off the bat. When you gain experience and you're kind of in the system for a while, then you can start to like freestyle because you know the standard. You know the SOP, right? You have a sense of it. Now you might be able to put a little sauce on it. You know what I mean? Winging it doesn't always necessarily mean like you have no idea of what you're doing. Some people are better at winging it, and actually the results come out better than following the exact plan. They're not off plan, but they're sort of like free flowing and getting it done, right? And some things require the SOP procedure, like the to the book, and like this is it. And maybe some things, you know, could be successful this way. You know, there's no
in fitness
better way, but
in fitness, would you recommend wing'em or SOP?
No.
hey, I'm just
but I just said at the beginning.
sure.
At the beginning,
Yeah.
you need to have an order. You need to have structure. You need to have a step-by-step process. You can't skip step 2 and expect to get here and get these results, or maybe this. You can't do that. But over time, when you sort of understand the system, you could sort of like not wing it, but say for a workout, you've gained a knowledge of all sorts of different types of training. You could go into the gym now. I want to hit a push day today. My program says to hit incline Smith machine, decline, flat dumbbell, da-da-da-da. That's what, but today, I'm going to do these things instead. I'm still hitting the same muscle groups. I'm still, getting done what I need to get done, but I want to free flow my workout today, more from my mental, right? But it takes experience. It takes time.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't recommend that for a new entrepreneur or a new person in fitness
Right.
to wing it.
It takes understanding it so much so that you can explain it to a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to create really good standard operating procedures and have the wisdom to be able to free flow within it, which also could possibly birth innovation.
That's a good word. That's a good way of thinking. Innovation.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you need to break through this standard operations, right? In order to get to the next level.
So here's this wild,
You
right?
got to add something to it. You got to branch off.
Yeah.
Right?
So to this point, it's weird because this is literally what I'm going through at my own company right now. So 2025, I basically I was like just blowing it up. I was like, yo, we're going to like start over mentally. Everything, we're just going to reset and we're going to do things a different way. So like I was talking to Pastor Mike too, and I was saying, we used to do these things. I learned actually from one of my mentors. You take everything from your office and you take everything out. And then you slowly put everything back in, and then whatever's left outside, you throw away. Because you got to prune,
Wow.
right?
Yeah,
But the problem is,
my wife does that with our closet.
Spring cleaning, but yeah.
right?
Bro, delete. Period. That's what you just did. Just
Yes.
delete. Because you can always put it back. Right? But I think the problem, let me ask you this. When you were getting into that, was it easy for you to just delete everything?
No.
Or was it like, oh, but I need that. I think I do.
I'm Korean. I'm Asian, bro. Like, we have the TV.
Boy,
We got the blue, what is it? Blue, I can't even say it. Blu-ray. And then you got the DVD player on top, and then you got the Roku box on top of that.
Oh,
you got
my
the
man.
Apple, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's us. It's really hard. And like, I come from an immigrant background. So as immigrants, you're literally like, well, you're
Everything else.
right? Because you're, oh man, that's so good. Like, you're in a survival mentality.
100%.
But I'm learning that at a certain stage, you got to evolve from survivor to like thriver. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I just
survive to thrive.
yeah, you know what I mean? You got to go from survive. And part of that is to change the way you think too, is like, you got to go from scarcity mindset to abundance. So like, one thing about VAs, and it kind of triggered a thought for me, is like, what VAs do and what is happening to me is it's increasing bandwidth for certain things.
Yep.
And when you have more bandwidth, you have more focus
Mm-hmm.
because you're not spread thin. I mean, that's literally what I was.
The system isn't running slow anymore.
No.
So there's that. So
Right.
one of the things though, right, was, okay, this is good. You can't wing them with your SOPs. You have to be very intentional. And that's one thing I learned in this process, because I'm working on this AI tool right now to like, honestly, one of the big projects I've been working on is making books. I was actually going to turn every single one of these Shaka Tank episodes into a mini book. And I think I cranked out like 15 books in the last like 5 months.
Let's go.
And it's only because of AI technology and the ability to like edit and transcribe. And it's taken a long time to get to the point where we're at. But here was the big thing. I was able to get my 14-year-old son to use the SOP, and it worked. I was like, so easy, a 14-year-old could do it? Whoa, wait, hold up. And that's one thing I've learned, like, very good businesses don't need to use this as much. They've simplified it down to a place where it's literally just like clockwork. And I think, I would want to encourage entrepreneurs out there. It's like, I think that's a key principle to think about, especially as we're going into this new year. It's like, maybe wing 'em is not like the right thing to be doing as you start this year off. Maybe think about SOP. maybe maybe you guys even right now. I don't know if you guys reflect it, but that's something that
No,
I stopped right now.
It's crucial. It's crucial. Jokes aside, winging it, but people reach out to me for coaching because they want the SOP, right? They want to be able to follow a structure step by step. They don't want to think about it anymore. They don't want to, have fear of like, man, am I doing this right? Or they just want to put their trust in someone to give them and tell them exactly what needs to be done, and they'll do it. Right? Simplify it. Take out the thinking.
Yeah.
As a player, and I always played my best and played my fastest when I wasn't thinking. Right? When you have to think about like a play or a route, or man, like you slow down because you're thinking along the way as opposed to just going, right? Understanding what the play is, lining up, mowing the coverage because you put in the work and you've detailed it, you've repped it, SOP, however you want to, talk about that, you play faster and more efficiently. And I think that's crucial in entrepreneurs as well, like you're saying.
So, Chad, what you're saying is then that when they come to you because they are certain that they're going to get the results that you are going to provide, that they want. I want that prep. I want that growth. I want X, Y, and Z. They're certain that Chad's got the SOP.
Well, I don't want to say that they're certain, but they definitely have a good feeling based on who I am, what I stand for, the results I personally get, and what my clients that I put out, what they've gotten. So it's like,
gotcha.
He's doing something right.
Right.
And they trust me because they know how I did it. They know, my past, my history. So there's a certain trust there based on that. So I think, let's just say the proof's in the pudding, right? When you see the pudding and it looks good and it tastes good, I want that recipe.
100%.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of for you in business, any business that anyone's running. I think success, it's key. It's vital to the future and for you getting more success and then influencing others. And, so to that, you gotta have success and have done it first, shown it in order for others to sort of buy into that.
Cool. So I got a couple things that we can clip in, which will hopefully give people an SOP. And what that is one, when you want to build an SOP, right, you're going to want to do, document, then delegate. Do the thing, document everything, turn that into an SOP. And then once you have that, then you have something that you can delegate out. Right. And that's just basic. Do, document, delegate. So those are the D's for everybody to remember. Right.
What do you see people getting hung up on? In which part of the process do you see, especially entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, where do you see them getting hung up?
Really is in the document, delegate. Everybody's doing. If you're an entrepreneur, you're hopefully doing, but it's the documenting, the delegating. Why? Why is that? Well, I have, I had partners at my New Auto, right, which is an automotive repair company in Honolulu and Mapunapuna. Won, 2 Best of Hawaii awards, right? In there, though, it's important to document and delegate. But when we were first starting the business, we thought we had to do everything. We thought that we had to answer the phones. We thought that we had to be the person doing the diagnostics. We thought, because we didn't trust that other people could do what we do, right? And that's the problem, is the lack of trust. But you don't know unless you try, right? And so when I got into VAs more, when I started getting into the tech world, into the tech world, where now it's like, oh my gosh, I can have people in India, I can have people in the UK, I can have people in the Philippines actually help me build this project, whereas I don't know that many people in Hawaii that can, right? And so for me, it was like an eye-opener of leverage, right? And so it helped. So then the doing was easy. Everybody thinks that they can do it all themselves, right? Even if they freestyling, right? But it's the documentation that's hard, because how much times do you document even your workouts? Like, I know you do, but I'm saying, like, me, I work out. I'm not documenting, like, all right, I did a bench press, I did this and this.
Right.
You're right.
Most people don't do that.
Right? And like documenting, right? And so we don't. We just like, oh, how'd you do? It's like, bro, I worked out for an hour and a half. I got gains. Like, okay, what gains? What are you measuring?
Where's the data?
Where's the data, right? And so you always have to measure it. You got to measure, right? You got to measure what matters. Why? Because when you measure it, right? Or let's just say this, not even when you measure it. Let's put it this way. If you can't measure it, then what is it? Where's the proof? Where's the pudding?
Right.
If I can't measure it, where's the proof? Where's the pudding? Right?
Yeah,
And
show me.
show me.
Man, I make this dope pudding. Oh, yeah, where is it? Oh, it's gone, but it's amazing. What? Like, I can't try it. I can't see it. I can't taste it.
Where can I validate this information that you're sharing with me? Where's the proof? Where's the pudding?
Just trust me. Just trust me. I got it. Yeah, trust me. It's the best thing ever. Just trust me. I got it. I think a lot of businesses are operating off. Just trust me.
Yeah. Biggest red flag ever.
True.
Why? Just trust me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, hey, I'm gonna go open up your heart. It's gonna work.
Daniel.
Just trust me.
That's the name of the episode. Hey, that's the name of this episode, bro. Daniel. That's the name.
Just trust
No, it's trust me.
Bro.
Oh my God.
Tell me, like, all caps, too.
Yeah.
All caps.
Yeah.
Just trust me.
So then we'll go with the just trust me Wingham, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the second one because I told you I'm gonna give you two, right? So I gave you 2 D's. I give you 3 D's. I'm gonna give you 3 C's. Okay. I give you 3 D's. I'm gonna give you 3 C's. The first 3 D's was do, document, delegate. Okay. Now we free flowing, right? If you free flowing and you don't know what you're doing, you don't document anything, you just trust me, right? Trust me. Where's the clarity?
Yeah.
Right? Where's the clarity? Where's the consistency?
Yeah. Hey, all these listeners need to hear this. I'm telling you,
I need to take notes.
so good because I'm telling you, bro. Like this.
No, let him get through. So,
I swear to take a pause so they hear it. Like, yo, they hear this. Like,
consistency.
Yeah.
Wow. And then that leads to certainty. It leads to certainty. So when you have an SOP, when you document what you have done, even if you just journal, right? I mean, I can go off tangents, but like Marcus Aurelius, right? He documented everything in Meditations to himself. These are life lessons that we're able to use today based on something like that, right? And then, so gave you some clarity, right? But so let me get back to the C's. So when you document everything, what that does is it gives you clarity. It also gives the person that you're delegating to clarity on what has to be done. When you have clarity, you can then ensure consistency. When you have consistency, like the market in the S&P is constantly about 3 to 7% over the last 20 years. That seems kind of consistent. So what is that? That's a safe bet. Some people will even say that's a certain bet. Right. And the problem is that even in like marketing, so for me, like I had a marketing background, marketing company, I kind of just moved that away. With AI, it's everything in marketing is just going to turn into sales. So I have a company called leadgetters.com that we're building. So that's it's not out there yet, but it's in the back end, right? It's called leadgetters.com. And what that is going to do is it's going to have marketing and sales all in there to create a conversion system. That conversion system is going to have clarity. It's going to be automated, so it'll give you consistency. And then if you want to increase your conversion rate, it'll give you that certainty. Why? Because it covered the first 2.
we need to get an A and a B because we got C and D's.
Bro, I was a D student.
I'm good there.
Yeah, I don't know A and B, bro. You know, I only know how to do that in testing. I don't know what that is, man. You know?
I love it. Yo.
My alphabet started
Yeah.
CD.
Hey, when he flipped it to consistency, clarity, and we got the certainty, delegation, document. You know, what's funny is this. I think this is the medicine that a lot of entrepreneurs need. Because the reality of it is they like this is why I kind of, hey, let's pause the button real quick, right? Because the reality of it, everybody wants to do wing them. It's easy to wing them. And you know, you're putting forth effort. But just because you're putting forth effort doesn't mean you'll get results. And like, that's a really dumb way of working.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just because you're working hard doesn't mean like you're making hard. You know what I mean? Like, work hard and do all the things and go to bed feeling like you accomplished nothing. Because what were you doing? I was the people you're following.
I'm hoping that people even I work with listens to this, because the reality, right? It's like,
I'm send this to my team.
no, I'm dead serious. It's like, yo, dude, it's like people want to just they love the adrenaline of jumping into it, right? And like, that's the fun part. You know what the sucky part is? Putting the shoes on. Well, first putting the socks on. See, some people just put the shoes on, you know what I mean? Because they just want to go.
Or they just wear sandals.
Yeah. Yo, totally.
But they forgot to clip their toenails. We're gonna yeah.
No, but like, you know, no. Hey, to your point, right? It's like, yo, proper. Was this statement? It's like, proper preparation leads to, I don't know. It's all about preparation, right?
yeah.
Piss poor performance. Isn't that the saying? Is like
Poor
poor preparation leads to piss poor performance. Yeah,
Hey, we
there's
went from Z to P, bro. We
because hey, you get the profits at the P. All right, so
100%.
check it out. But so the reality of it is, this is, I think, something, and not just local, right? Like in general, entrepreneurs are cursed with this plague right here. I have a vision, go get them. But it's like, hold up a second.
Well, it's because the entrepreneurial spirit and mindset is forward thinking.
Yes.
It is like that.
Yeah.
So you're skipping all of these things.
Yeah.
You talked about in the last podcast, the process.
Yeah.
Process is where the SOP comes in. You gotta do these things in order to have this first goal of yours to be successful. You're on goal 3, 4. You're trying to knock it all down at the same time. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. And so I've been there. Right?
Yeah.
And we've been friends now for like 4 or 5, I don't know, 4 years. And I was sort of all over the place, but literally 2024, I felt like I narrowed my focus. Sort of kind of, I guess, created an SOP for myself and not even realizing it.
And that's
Just, focus on this win and doing it the right way. And then, okay, now let's get to this next thing. But we got the playbook now. We got the system that we take the winning system, and we're going to apply it here. The principles.
There's a great book called From Good to Great. And basically they define what you just said as a flywheel that you can do and repeat over and over and over again. Now, one thing to add to your point, Sage, is like the problem about like delegating. So you asked like where, like maybe, I think your question was like, where you have the problems or the frustration.
Where do entrepreneurs, solopreneurs find themselves
Stuck. I think the delegation part is really tough because here's the thing, right? They could document, right? What was the second one? Document.
Yep.
Was the first one?
Do.
Okay, so you can do and document. The hardest part, though, is delegating to me. And the reason being, I'm going to just say it right now. Here's the curse of every entrepreneur. They overcomplicate.
Well, that and they don't trust. Right?
Yeah.
You said that. It's like, because it's your baby.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You do it this way. You've done it this way.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
There's no way that it's a comfortable thing to put your trust in someone else to do it the way you've done it.
Yeah.
There's fear there. That's why delegation is so hard in entrepreneurship.
So it's funny. It's like you do. Like if you're a scientist, a mad scientist, like, hey, I did it and I documented it, but no one can read what I documented, right?
Yeah.
It's mine.
No, 100%.
Yeah, it's my, like, I understand. Like, I know people right now, and who I'm sending this clip to that. But no, I'm dead serious. Like, even on my team, right? It's like we run a legit business working with, we move, right? We do business, right? And it's like, yeah, you do it, you document it. But the problem is, no one can understand what the hell only you can do it. And that makes you feel more valuable, sure. But the problem is you can't scale. Look, I'm gonna say, you can't scale.
You can't scale. You can't grow. You can't grow. You can develop and have like some small amount of success and keep doing it this way. And you might be okay.
Yeah.
But until you delegate, you never.
It's like that uncle. It's like that uncle that's like creating that like bonfire or like barbecue, and they have their way of doing it. And then they go, okay, hey, teach nephew. And they, I just care. I'll just do it. Yeah. But then now uncle has to sit and grill the whole time, right? Can't like pass it along. But like to that point, man, it's like, hey, I'm telling you, I think that too many, oh man, this is so good.
Yeah. 2025 is document and then create SOPs.
Yes.
Create simple SOPs though, because I'm going with you on that. You have to. That's why I loved when you said delete.
Yeah.
Right when you were talking about that, because you have to simplify.
Well, let me add to this real quick.
Please.
So check this. The reason why this is so important in 2025 specifically is because AI is very powerful, and the more you document, and the simpler you make it, AI will definitely be able to help those people. But those people that are not documenting and they're making things complicated, AI, like I've used AI for a while, right? Like there's a specific way to use it to become more effective for whatever you're doing. So one of the things that I've been thinking a lot lately is, it's not just AI. People that use AI, it'll make their lives easier. People that know how to use AI, they will be extremely successful.
Oh, 100%.
So it's not just learning AI. It's not just like dabbling
maximizing
with
AI.
Well, like understanding how AI can fit your particular industry. But the problem is like you're gonna be like, oh, I'm a doctor. No, like that's the arrogance. Like no one could do what I do. I'm the specialist at this particular field, and how can AI take over? It's like no, you want AI to take over.
Yes.
You want to document, and you want to document, simplify. Simplify, document, and then delegate. If you can't delegate this to a 14-year-old, you're probably not gonna be able to use AI as well as you could use it. Because you're always going to be like, oh, we've been doing this for 50 years like this. Bye. Close time. I remember the close time.
Yeah.
Where's JC Penney? Where's Warehouse Music?
Yeah.
Well,
They didn't hit that update button. I mean, it's
They didn't update?
AI is
Blockbuster. Just talk about Blockbuster. That's what their problem was. Netflix came about. They didn't want to change their business model. I mean, it's a story you can look up, right? They didn't want to change their business model, and it destroyed them. Netflix destroyed Blockbuster purely because they didn't want to change their model. We can go even to another one. Kodak, same story. They didn't want to go digital. Same story.
Arrogance. I think arrogance is definitely directly related to complicating things. Like,
oh, I thought you was going with an A. I thought you was about to give us the 3 A's.
Give me an A. Hey, you go to the A. I don't know. But no. I'll just say this: like arrogance, right? It does lead to. It just complicates things. Like arrogant people, they don't want other people to know what they know. They want to feel top of their little mound hill or whatever, right?
They want to keep everything closed source.
Yes. But when you collaborate, hey, I'm going back to C's. Yeah, like, yo, this is gonna be like a children's book somehow, dude.
It should be.
Yeah.
The ABCs.
Yeah.
And D.
Of business, entrepreneurship, of growth in Hawaii. Like, let's rise up. You know what I mean? But yeah, continue though. You're killing it.
No, I just feel like that's a main thing that I think going. You know, the last episode we were talking about the distractions of social media and how it's affected a lot of like mental health and like, you know, this day and age, it is probably like the superpower of the next generation is going to be focus for sure. Can you focus in this environment? This is a noisy environment. Can you minimize and delete? Like too many people are holding on to too many things, right? Saving. I need more, right? I believe the next generation of success will literally be those that can delete, focus, and filter. Delete, focus, and filter. Right. Part of that is simplifying. I think that's a new art form, and I think, you know, arrogance breeds like, you know, hey, only I can do this. You know, this is my way. My way's better. When maybe it's not the best way. How do you SOP this thing, simplify it, and delegate it out so that you can do it, but now there's an alternative. So here's one thing I got from a friend of mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, there's wartime leaders, right? Like I'm a wartime leader. Like when it's like all calm and peaceful, I'm like, it's not really where I thrive. I thrive when it's like
chaos. You need things to be sort of.
Well, when things are like there's opportunity or there's like a time, like time is now like a thing, right? And he called it wartime promotions. So like you have this chessboard and you have another chessboard, but you're developing out these other pieces. So during war times, you have to promote these pieces up so you could play a different game on a different board. But if you're always going to be the king and queen of that board or the rook or whatever, and you want to tell your business like no one could do what I do, you'll never scale.
You gotta build leaders, man. True leaders build more leaders. Right?
How do you? So say you have a king. How do you dethrone a king forever? Okay. I mean, I have something, but I want to hear it from how. Like, just think of that real quick. How could I dethrone a king forever?
I mean, I don't know if this goes along, but my immediate answer, because I have a son, you have to breed a prince. But maybe
get rid of the king forever. Like if I'm coming in and I'm gonna take over this, and I'm gonna go and take over.
I was talking. I mean, I was watching. I've been watching a lot of these Vikings in a movie like that back that like Kings and Beasts. You take him out.
You take him out. You take.
Well, you take out the kids,
and then you take him out, and you end up like taking his wife. Like it's crazy how that did. They want to see and take over his entire family and his whole estate. Yeah, well, that's what it was. You take him out.
Okay. So, you take them out. So that's the way that we think, right? But I'm going off of chess right now. That's why I brought this up. And so how do you take out the king? You destroy all the pawns.
Right.
You destroy all the pawns, because if I take out your queen, pawns can become royalty. Okay? So how do I take out the king? If I destroy all the pawns, you have nothing to back you up. You have no moat. You have no castle. I just took out everything.
King basically surrenders.
King surrenders. And so that is how you take out the king. How then do you ensure you are a king? Well, then you go hire a ton of pawns. And that's how you create your leverage. You know what I'm saying?
In other words, delegate.
Delegate, right? But if you have no delegation, then you are a lonely king. And if you are a lonely king that isn't strong enough to create and build his own moat, then you will get thrashed and you will be dethroned.
Hey, you know, you just spit. But I know as you were saying it, like, you're a lonely king. Oh, hey, that's a cut. That's a hit. Billboard top charts, right? No, that was a good one. You are, no, seriously.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a lonely king?
There's a lot of people out there that think they do. It's sad, you know what I mean? And that goes to why do you want a closed source? Why do you want to lock doors? I mean, I don't even want to go into politics, but we can even go about the locked doors in Treasury. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think of that. Like, all these locked doors, now there's a little glimpse inside and everybody's running like crazy, like flashlight turned on and cockroaches are like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's because it's because we are people that we thrive with transparency. Oh, there's tea. But we thrive with transparency. We do. Transparency, open source also leads to innovation and growth, right? And so...
100%. And like, you know, things grow in the light. And so when we are closed source, when we hide things closed behind doors, like nothing grows. Like nothing can grow in the dark.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if we truly as entrepreneurs believe in our business model, believe in why we started this business in the first place, was ultimately not to build my empire, my kingdom, was to help people. Like that's why we started this journey, right? We started because
So they tend to forget the mission.
right, 100%.
That's what it was in the very beginning. And, you know, and this is some of the issues when you have such a quick rise to stardom or a rise to success, man, it could be easy to forget like where you were, where you came from, or what the true mission was.
Right.
You know, and I think going back to the last podcast, we talked about Tom Brady, Mark, and Mahomes. Like Mahomes was like, bro, it was like instant success, right? And he didn't have to endure what, like, in my opinion, what Tom Brady had to endure throughout his career, right? And then chipping away. You learn to appreciate the small wins that way, and you learn how to be calm in the bad times. Yeah, you learn how to be relaxed because you've been there before. You understand it. When you have such great success so quick, so soon, so fast, that's the expectation. And the moment some adversity hits, this is what we're talking about, you start to freak out, right? Yeah. Light comes on, the roaches are freaking out.
Yeah.
Right? So this to that, I think that's sort of like, you know, part of it too.
You ever ask a question like, man, how'd you do that? And they go, bro, I can't tell you that.
Yeah, gatekeeping.
Gatekeep is,
Yeah.
You can't hold on to the knowledge, man. It was passed down to you. You learned it from somewhere. Pass it forward, pay it forward. You know what I mean? That's
Right. And honestly, that's how legacies get destroyed. Like, because someone had a secret sauce recipe and they never shared it. And so the recipe died with that previous generation or the previous leader, and it's unable to be passed on.
Right. The Hawaiian language, like it's
100%.
literally considered, you know, gone. Like it's not even being
so sad. Can I say something on that though? Of course. Hey,
you the guest, brother. You can say
Oh, you jump in whenever. This is you.
Kamehameha High School, you should definitely make teaching Hawaiian mandatory. Speaking Hawaiian, speaking Olelo, that should be mandatory at Kamehameha High School. I'm just going to say that.
Just like math.
Just like math. Why is that? It's because exactly what Chad said. Olelo's dying. Our Hawaiian language is dying, and yet it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And if you're going to a private school, which is already very hard to get in, you already are a staple to Hawaii, its history and culture. I'm just throwing it out there. Kamehameha High School, you are in the prime position to teach Hawaiian language to every single student. And you want to know how? I'll give you the SOP. The SOP is teach them from kindergarten, start there. Every year they go, start there. In 13 years, we will have a Hawaiian language where everybody has an opportunity to learn it and speak it. That is something that I just wanted to share because it's a great opportunity for Kamehameha to even separate itself and create a bigger moat than it is. Why is that? Because a lot of Hawaiian kids now have to go outside to other schools,
Right,
like charter schools, to learn Hawaiian, and they miss out on such beautiful education. I'm just wanted to throw that out there because I think it's important, and I've been thinking about it, and you brought it up, and I just wanted to share that.
Well, I mean, I can take that even a step further. Like, you know, every school in Hawaii has an opportunity to at least have the language as part of the curriculum, right? But it's been removed. There's certain. I may be wrong, but I swear I didn't even sing Hawaii Pono'i anymore at elementaries. I remember growing up, it was like, hey, you sang Hawaii Pono'i every morning. Okay. That was part of what it is, but I think they removed that, right? So
fact check for us, please. Yeah. Post it.
If that's the case, we need
any 6-year-olds listening to this right now,
let us know.
That needs to put that back. Yeah, we need to use it more because even me, like that's one of the things that I'm like, damn, like I wish I'm Hawaiian and I can't even speak it. Like I can say a few things, I can say a couple words, understand a few words, but it just wasn't part of my everyday and my upbringing.
To that point, my wife's she has a younger siblings who are in, one of them is in elementary school, and they go to the elementary school here on the west side. I don't want to say it because I don't want to start nothing, but they're really big on about Abraham Lincoln, and so the kids, they know like the memorial address, the four scores or they know that. Man, like ask them about like Hawaii Pono'i or anything about our culture,
foreign,
nothing. Like it's absolutely mind-boggling. Like, wow, they know so much about Abraham Lincoln and this president who, like had slaves and things like that, and even though did a lot to abolish slavery, like like about our own Hawaiian people in our own backyard, like nothing.
I look at it like this: when you go to Japan, what does Japan speak? When you go to Korea, what does Korea speak? When you go to the Philippines, they got different languages, but when you go to the Philippines, what do they speak? When you go to Mexico, what do they speak? On Puerto Rico, exactly. I can go on for days and years and whatever in every country. And when you come to Hawaii, what do you speak? Of course, we're American, of course that. But I mean, even in America, what's the second language? Espanol, right? And so,
Hawaii, like Target, if you go to Target, right, it's not Hawaiian words showing you the bathroom, it's Japanese.
Japanese, exactly. So it's like we're doing it to ourselves in a sense, and of course we're in a tourism industry, so of course we have to showcase for help them and showcase for them. But when we go to Japan or we go anywhere outside of the U.S., what are we going for? We're going for their culture. I want to go to Kyoto. I want, I want to go for their culture. I want man, this is cool. You know what I mean? But when we come to Hawaii, it's just a nicer part of the United States, which it is, but you miss out on the culture. And I think that Hawaii has a good opportunity, going back to the AI, is Hawaii has a good opportunity, because if AI ever does create some type of utopia for everybody where all the mundane tasks that we don't want to do disappears and we can just talk and say, hey, I need you to do this because I got the SOP, follow this SOP, and my life is Gucci. If that then becomes the future, then we have an opportunity to then perpetuate our culture.
Right.
That practitioners now, that creativity, because guess what AI cannot do? AI cannot replace you doing that. It cannot. I'm not going to go watch AI robot dance hula.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And that's what we can do. So even though AI might take over, which is a good thing, y'all still like working? You know what I mean? Like, it's a good thing. You know? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like looking at I have an alarm. I don't look at my emails until 11 o'clock.
You guys said like working?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is it's going to take Like, what thrives? Like, just think about this, right? Like, what thrives? What will beat AI and what AI cannot do? Human connection, human emotion, right? And
Human creativity, yeah. Innovation, yeah.
innovation. It cannot do that.
Never replace
Yeah.
it.
You know, it won't. It won't replace it. And so we have an opportunity. So don't be scared. Embrace it. Learn it, to your point, and let it be your leverage so that when the utopia does come, you ready, you willing, you able.
So what's interesting, I think you said this earlier. You said, like, in the process of developing out the SOP, innovation happens in that process too, right? Because it's like you're documenting, and then you got to figure out how to delegate. But like, as you're delegating and you're like, wait, I got to tweak that. I got to change that. Oh, shoot. And, there's a saying, you get paid by the size of the problems that you solve, right?
Yes, sir.
So you solve a big problem, you get paid a lot. You solve a small problem, you get paid little. But like, as you're going through your own problems, the more that you solve that, the better your SOP will be, right? One of the things about AI, it's a problem. It's a legit problem. But how do you make it not a problem? I think there's an opportunity in this space. So especially Hawaii, it's the most isolated, I believe it's the most isolated, habited, peoples, like, that's functioning
far from everybody.
far from everyone. But what's really cool? We talked about this on the last episode too. Is like, that probably means we could focus the most. You know what I mean? We're like on an island.
Yeah, we should technically have the least amount of distractions.
Right? Right?
100%.
No, right?
100%.
So-
It should be a hub for innovation.
Yes. No. So check this out. So as you're solving the problems, if you don't see, this is the encouragement I have for anyone in Hawaii right now, is like, run to learn AI. Don't crawl, walk, go run right now.
100%.
If locals in Hawaii learn it, dissect the problems, there will be innovation in that process. They will have innovative thoughts on how to use AI very uniquely away from everyone else. And I say this a lot, like, just with my friends and stuff. I can see Hawaii becoming like Wakanda, right? Wakanda was its own little place in the Marvel universe, but it was protected from the outside world. But they got to preserve their culture because they had their own they had high level of technology. They didn't need to subscribe to anything outside of Wakanda, and they were strong internally. Could Hawaii do that?
100%.
Hawaii does not need anything. Like, there's an ecosystem here that thrives already. Well, if we introduce AI and we embrace technology, but we use it in a way that functions here, right? We get to detach ourselves from the world. And, I heard someone say, we're a few unicorns away from just being completely independent.
100%.
Think about that, 1 or 2 unicorns in Oahu, right? Like, honestly, that's how Silicon Valley started. Like, Silicon Valley wasn't Silicon Valley before. It took 1 unicorn, then the second unicorn popped up, then imagine 3 or 4 unicorns here that literally employ everyone in Hawaii. Not the government, not the schools, not the military. 2 or 3 unicorns that literally the whole population, they wouldn't need anyone else coming in. It would just keep here, export technology, like I always say this, imagine if Instagram or Facebook or Amazon was founded here.
100%.
That's wild of a thought. The prices, house prices would not go up because no one could get in.
Exactly.
Wild thought though, right?
Bro, 100%. And you look at it, right? So I had this conversation with my dad, and we had it was a low key, it was like a pretty heated conversation. But we had this little conversation, and it was about debt because they're traveling to Japan. And my whole thing was like, we were talking about the beauty of Japan and everything and whatnot. And then it was like, well, but their yen's going down, and it's a very sad thing that's happening in Japan, right? They're so innovative. They've created so many things that it's amazing what they can do, but their yen's going down. So then it was like, well, their tourism is what's keeping them up. So we were talking about like price gouging and stuff, like, like, oh, they should have a kamae in them, but whatever. But then it was like, well, Hawaii is a tourist place too. So my whole thing was like, well, there's opportunity in Hawaii. It's just people don't know it, right? And this is what we're vibing on right now. And so we had this kind, and his whole thing was like, well, because Hawaii, you have to ship stuff. And he had a very good point. And his point was, what are our resources,
Sure.
right? Which is fine. Okay, we don't have too many. We don't got oil here, right? We don't have resources like that are the unicorns. But to your point, and I think that's where my point was with him too, was, but if we get unicorns, if we create this tech hub,
Yeah.
Because he goes, well, where's the tech at? I was like, I'm in Capole, like I'm the tech. I'm here, you know. But he's like, so the thing was, to your point, if you create a unicorn here, then everybody's going to come. Why? Because when that one unicorn was built in Silicon, that's where everybody said, what? Silicon is the place of innovation.
Yep.
So they go to Silicon for innovation. I know guys right now in Missouri that are brilliant software engineers, and they're like, bro, whatever's happening in Silicon with AI right now, I need to be there. He's literally going to leave where he's living on the East Coast just to be a part of, in proximity of innovation. And to your point, Hawaii can be that. And why is Hawaii better for that? Is the energy's here. The energy's better. The weather's better. Like everything
It's beautiful here.
Hawaii is just better, period.
Dude, tech is the new oil.
Tech is the new oil.
Possibly.
Well, so here's
Well,
here's the
it'll-
thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing. Like the cost of living is the way that it is because the infrastructure isn't set up to reward those
You're
that are.
saying if we were to,
No, think about this. Tech is,
could change that.
of course,
Mhm.
dude.
Right.
Look at
100%.
technology. Like, okay, let's just say, brother Joe, right? He builds this next big tech company and blows up, right? It's like the next big thing goes across the globe. Who's he gonna hire? He's gonna hire auntie, cousins, all these people. You think he's gonna want to drive them away? He's the guy, right? He's the unicorn. He's the company.
Kind of in control.
He's in control, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Zuckerberg's, like Facebook, dude, they have a they can make things happen in Silicon Valley, right? Because they have that power because of how big they are in their company, how big it is. Silicon Valley is a little different because it's just so many now, right? But if you were the one company that like you blew, I mean, the owners and the co-founders, they like, especially in Hawaii, why would they not want to protect and preserve what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's what I see is like, and it's the only, like, I look at it as like the Noah's Ark digital flood, right? It's like when the digital flood came, everything got turned upside down. AI is going to do the same thing. There are going to be new billionaires
Mhm.
through AI. They're going to be millionaires through AI, but they got to do it now. Like my thought is this, if you have a bunch, if you encourage the next generation to learn it right now and they become the next, they figured out how to build the next big thing. You got like 20 companies here. It's going to employ everybody, but it's going to be people they know. It's not going to be randos that are flying into Hawaii. They're going to train up the next generation. Like Wakanda, like you're hiring your brothers, cousins, sisters, like whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
And they're learning.
To get back to like Hui together.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's to me. That's where the one of the problems is.
But the opportunity that I see though is that it's tech is the new oil. Oil was very dependent on location. There's certain businesses that are very dependent on location. Tech is democratized. You can have,
Yep.
you could build it anywhere.
Mm.
And one idea can thrive in this AI, like, you know, what's his name? The dude, the NVIDIA, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Jensen, no?
No,
NVIDIA CEO?
yeah.
Jensen.
But that guy, right? He talks about how a lot of things are going to just be obsolete, but it's going to be those that innovate and know how to use AI
100%.
to make those ideas. If you want to think like everyone else, go to a place that there is a lot of everyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you want to think innovatively, go to somewhere that you're a little more isolated and you don't have to think like everyone else.
Come to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Well, here's the thing, and I think this is why Hawaii is a big brand that's easily marketable from a marketing standpoint, right? And I think when we're talking about tech is it's like when Jesus was when Jesus came to the earth, right? God was kind of setting things up for the gospel to be spread. So God, used the Roman Empire to create roads, so that way the gospel would easily spread to different, like surrounding states and stuff like that. And then God also used the Greeks to create a common language. So for us, tech is like the road system. It's not the thing, right? But it's gonna progress the thing. I think for Hawaii, what the thing is why does everyone want to come to Hawaii? It's just a place of respite. It's because of the people. At the end of the day, it's the aloha spirit. I mean, like,
It's energy.
right? Exactly. It's and that is Hawaii's number one.
I want to ask one thing because I'm not from here originally. People come to Hawaii to do these two things: rest and recharge.
Yeah.
And you know why they do this here? because he had ideas.
Yes.
The best ideas I
100%.
Yes.
no, I want to add on that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
that is but we live in the area of rest and
Yes.
recharge.
Yes.
Why are we not getting the best ideas?
Why are we not birthing innovation every second that we are here?
You know why though?
I agree.
Why not us? They believe there's this ceiling, this glass.
Because they don't think it can be us.
100%.
They don't believe
Bing-
it can be from.
Bingo.
Yes.
That's it.
Yo, what's the difference between Brady? He thought he could come back against the Falcons,
Yeah, we talked about that.
and he executed. The first thing that Hawaii needs to do, and the next generation needs to do, is not say, "I need a brain drain and leave the island." We can do it here.
100%.
Vinny, I didn't even
I,
cut you
no,
off,
no, I completely agree, and I think that's why
but they come here.
Our-
Yeah,
when people come here, people flock around the world. They save up their entire life savings just to come to Hawaii. So I think the next
14 days.
right, exactly. I think the next big export coming out of Hawaii for us as Hawaiians and as people that live here is going to be exporting the Aloha spirit. I mean, like it's like you know through the goods that we're creating through e-com, through tech like that, through like hula and things like that, digital content creation. Like when we can export and have other people around the world feel what they feel when they come here, that's going to be the biggest export over pineapple, over sugarcane. Back in the days, it's going to be the Aloha spirit, and that's what it is.
Imagine if you could add Aloha. You know, Facebook was known for. They said, I think their statement was like, I could be wrong, but they said, "Move fast and break things." Right? That was like their mantra was like.
That's also my toddler's life statement.
Right? You know, but what happens in that sense, you're trying to progress as fast as possible, and you're not considering the fact that you might break something. So innovation is possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, what if Aloha spirit does get applied to different business practices? Aloha is sustainable. Aloha is love, right?
100%.
And you could preserve it so you don't have people backstabbing each other and clout climbing and doing things that like maybe in other industries that happens because the reality of it is there's so many different cultures that come in together. And there's like, in California, I'd be like, people don't say hi to their neighbors. Just like they run in, right? Here it's like, hey, you spent 20 minutes, right? And to your point, I think that Hawaii has a unique flavor in that sense where there is aloha. There is like, people are a lot more open and like, because it's an island, you have to be kind.
100%.
But how does that kindness get applied to, and I'm saying, how does it get applied to business? Or what I'd say, how does it get applied to tech? And does that export, that Medici effect, those two things, culture?
It's because the main big businesses here aren't of Hawaii. It isn't built off of the Aloha spirit. It's from, I hate to say it's from the mainland.
Right,
It's mainland owned. Who's mainland leaders, mainland people who don't understand Aloha spirit. So that's why it can't even, it hasn't penetrated there yet.
All right.
So we need to, what you're saying, use Aloha spirit and use that to build, whether it's the unicorn, or we need to package that and be able to export that. I freaking love that. I truly believe that, and I've been saying this for years, that the Aloha spirit, bro, it can heal and save the world, bro.
100%.
I
Believe it.
Can't.
Believe it.
I think what Hawaii needs to know is that we can. We can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can. And I've told my story before, but I'm a kid that grew up, I grew up in nothing in Waimalu. You know what I'm saying? And we can, and I used to travel the world thinking I was the cat. I was the guy like, yo, I got to leave Hawaii. I got to leave the rock. I got to go to where everybody's playing. And I did. And I left and I went to the States. And what I learned was there is no place like home. You know what I'm saying? And even about the Aloha spirit, what allowed me to succeed quickly in the States was I was different. I had Aloha.
100%.
I was different. And in each of our business, it's the Aloha spirit that creates better customer service, better employee culture. And those two things is what you need to run a sustainable, successful business, is that. And we have Aloha in spades. And so to your point is, and to everybody's point here is, we have it. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Go and do. Just do it. No excuses. You know what I mean? And I wanted to, and I also, it's like, because like now we just gave everybody, on this podcast, we gave everybody how to do it, how to document, how to delegate it. how to delete, how to simplify. And so we gave you the operational tools, the how-tos, right? Now for the visionary in you, and then to also, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go and X out the doubts, the imposter syndromes in your head. And how are we going to do that? Well, there's a cat that came out here and he did buy, Lanai. Larry Ellison. So I know a lot of Hawaiians, we probably don't like it, right? As an outsider that came in and bought an entire island.
Right.
Okay. But let's just be humble a little bit. Okay. Let's be humble a little bit. Let's just take away that animosity, that anger, or whatever. Like let's just be unbiased, right? Now let's just think that was Uncle. Okay. Uncle did that, to your point, because what we are just talking about, proof is in Lanai. Do we even know the real estate in Lanai? Yes, they all do pay Larry Ellison, but their rent is dirt. They work at the hotels on Lanai. They work at Sensei. They work at Four Seasons. They work at the hotels. They manage the land. I talk to the people there. They can buy their houses. They can renovate their homes. They can sell their homes. A lot of people I talk to in Lanai, they're happy living in Lanai. They're like, yeah, Uncle Larry hooks us up. They have an entire island where they're working for that big tech company, helping them, but they still live home. They're on this island. So what I'm sharing is it's possible, right? He did it. And that's just Lanai. You do it. You do it. You do it. You do it. Everybody can do it. We just have to believe we can, and we can.
So I'll give one proof that's kind of interesting. So I'm Korean.
Okay.
I just went to Korea. My mom and my dad grew up like post-war, like right around that, right? Mm-hmm. And Korea was known as one of the poorest countries in the world, third world country, right? So like, I don't even know how many years ago was this? Like 70 years ago, 60 years ago. And my mom would tell stories about like being on my grandma's back, and like they had no food, they had no rice, they were like literally like. My grandma couldn't bread. They needed to find food, like they were starving, right? Like literally that third world country, like nothing. America comes in, and this is like, you could study economics and they talk about this, how America will go into a third world country, give a little bit of technology, and then that country will work hard, like the VAs, use it, learn it, innovate around it, get better, and then start dominating in that particular field. America's known for innovating. That is, everyone knows that. Asia traditionally is known for copying and making better. You guys know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
they're great at reverse engineering.
Right. But here's what's happening, right? Korea now, not only now 50, 60, 70 years of copying, making better, copying, like using technology that was given to them, machines, whatever it is, like resources, like processes or SOPs, using it, innovating on it, making it better. And now it's become one of the small little peninsula. It's one of the world powers in technology, like Samsung, LG, right? Yeah. Even Netflix is dominated by K-drama and I got K-pop. Why? Is that a coincidence? No. It's because that starving third world country that literally, like, they were, like, you would, that Sarah McLachlan song, like, yeah, right? Like, starving kids, right? They're hungry. But what did they do? They didn't feel sorry for themselves. They weren't defensive. They became offensive. They kept pushing the envelope. They kept innovating and growing. And now, what did they become? What happens when, this is my son's golf instructor, shout out Coach Steve, right? He says, you play, so this golfer's like, you play depending on how your drive is. I think he said that, but he's like, if you drive and you get in the fairway, you could play offensive the next 3 or 4 shots. If you drive and you hit out, you have to now play defensive. Are we playing defensive here? Or are we playing offensive? You know what I'd rather do instead of being, hey, this was happening. Hey, like, no, let's just go be successful. Let's delete, filter out all that noise and just say, screw it. I get it. That's how it was. Let's be offensive. Because what's the greatest way to transform anything? Just be successful.
100%.
That's it.
100%. Successful marriage, you have a happy life, right? You raise successful kids, they grow up to be sustainable, to be great leaders in the world, right? Like anything with good success breeds more success.
But that's the hope, right? It's like, we just need some case studies of success, which they have happened here, right? But the reality of it is, what's the next level, right? Instead of just being like, oh, I'm destined to work in hospitality. I'm destined to work at the military base.
Yeah.
They go,
Hard.
why not? Why is this 6-7-year-old kid going, I'm going to build the next tech company? How come the 6-7-year-old in Silicon Valley is thinking, I'm going to build the next tech company? The mindset, like Pastor Mike said about break the glass ceiling, break through it. I can't. Like, what'd you say? I can. But with a plan.
Yeah, we got a plan.
SOP.
SOP.
Harder.
Yeah. So if can, but with a plan.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, real quick, as we wrap this up, I wanted to highlight you guys real quick, if that's cool, because I want to celebrate you guys as co-hosts and also guests. I'd love to just, can you guys share what you guys are doing, right? Like your guys is, what are you guys working on right now? Like, because I think everyone here is entrepreneurs, right? Like I've shared my story about, I have a merch business called Merch Labs. I'm working on a tech company called Meteor. If you go to meteor.land, you could see what I'm doing, AI and books and stuff like that, right? Communities and all that. What do you guys got going on? I'm just kind of curious, like what's been going on in 2025 and...
Yeah, I think for me, so I work here at the church, Inspired Church. I'm the global director. It's just a fancy title. I don't oversee the world, but for me, I oversee all external communications. And so anything social media wise, content wise, Pastor Mike leads his coaching platforms, like that's all in my department. And so, like I said earlier, oversee about 10 staff members, church online, like all of everything that you guys can see of Inspire that comes to my department. And so, and on other side of that too is I also own a media company, and so it's called Vision and Verve Media.
Vision and Verve Media.
Vision and Verve Media.
How do they find it?
visionandvervemedia.com. Yeah, you can go to my Instagram, things like that.
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Pono Kuomura. It's my first and last name, and then my media company is Vision and Verve Media.
Okay, and what do you do?
So we help local brands and businesses tell their story online, and so we like to say we help them win on social media, but we do much more than social media. We started off in COVID just doing videos and content for local brands and businesses. When COVID happened, a bunch of my friends who knew that I have a video photo background were asking me, hey, like we just need to get our message out there and tell our customers what's going on. And so we completely shifted our business model to just do that, just helping local brands and businesses tell their customers what's happening in their business. And so we tell stories, we tell success stories, testimony videos, all that stuff. And then we've been delivering these awesome videos and then realized like, man, it's only going to like 200, 300 followers because mom and pop is running this Instagram account. So say, like, why don't we take over the Instagram account? We're a little bit more trendier than these mom and pop shops. So why don't we help out? And so we just started branching out. And like we're going through the do, delegate, and document, delegate, started doing that. And that's how my business started to scale. Started doing like one thing. Okay, like we got video content locked in. Okay, so now let's do social media. Okay, now we're doing awesome social media, but man, like we can't find out how to like take reservations for people. Maybe because you need a website. All right, so now we learn website encoding. And I'm not the best website coder, so now I have to go find people who are a lot better than me, do, document, delegate, rinse, repeat, do a bunch of things. And so that's where we're at right now. I mean, like I love our clients that we work with. I mean, one of them that we just recently started working with is the Honolulu Med Spa. They do like beauty stuff like that. We're doing content with them. We're in the middle of it right now, and it's been super awesome. But it's helping them, like even for them, they're like, we want to increase the quality of our footprint. We want to make sure that the people that we're getting into our business isn't, because they have a higher price margin for what they do. You know what I mean? Like you go in for a facial, it's not like $100, $60 facial. No, these are like, high tech things that they do. It's like a $2,000 thing. So okay, like their clientele needs to look a lot different. So how can we come in, help you guys, tell you guys story in a different way? And so that's what we do. I love it. I love doing both, juggling. I'm also a dad. I mean, my son is 21, 22 months old, and he's an absolute killer. Like, I mean, like, I love it, and he keeps me and my wife on
break things.
I know. That is his like mantra, right?
Yeah.
But me and my wife, we love it, and my wife, she helps me run the business. She helps me do things here at the church, and I like to say, like,
she's the trigger.
100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trigger is pointing at me, but that's a marriage, right? But that's a little bit what I did.
You gotta learn when to surrender, bro.
So, video production, web development, branding, storytelling, social media, and dad.
Dad, dude. My favorite title of all is dad, obviously. Dad, husband. If I could do anything and just get paid for a living, I'd just be a dad and a husband. But
Cool.
someone's gotta.
And also, I would say that you're like the co-producer or executive producer of Shaka Tank too. So, yeah, the quality and everything that you see, this man right here, Pono.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And then,
Appreciate you, Pono.
yeah,
Thank you, man.
what about you?
Yeah.
What's going on, Chad?
Oh man, well, most know my story. A former athlete, Hall of Fame football player now, recently turned pro bodybuilder, and so over all of those years of accumulating experience and knowledge in sport and athletic, and now in nutrition and diet and training, I'm an online fitness coach where I provide workouts, diets, supplement protocols for people that are looking to change their lifestyle. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? They want the SOP. So, online coaching has been great, getting people to lose weight, feel better about themselves, feel more confident. And with that comes, again, one success thing leads to another, right? So you start to feel better about yourself. Your relationship with your wife, it's going to be better. And what you do at work will be better. Your day just becomes better because you feel more driven, you feel more alive, you feel like you feel more accomplished. And that's my, one of my main goals and what I want for people. So the online coaching has been great.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth, man. So both lifestyle and competition prep clients. And recently, I've always had a love for training kids, training athletes, training the youth, helping them prepare and develop to become their best selves, and hey, go on to be at the NFL, whatever sport they want to pursue, right? So I'm back doing that, training athletes. But the biggest thing that I feel I do and I love is the mental part. Training athletes, the physical, trying to get them faster, getting them quicker. There's a lot of people that can do that, right? But getting them mentally ready to take on life, to take on sport, to have that mentality that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And don't just try to be a pro. Everyone wants to be a pro athlete. Hey, you gotta make sure you're trying to be a pro person too. So building character is my number one focus.
That's awesome.
Because for me, that's what it was. You talked about the Aloha Spirit. That's a character thing. Going away to the mainland, playing over there, playing in Canada, my Aloha Spirit is what allowed me to be successful. It's what allowed those doors to open. And it's what allowed doors to continue to open after my career. So what these athletes need to develop is that character, that pro person mentality, so that when their sport is over, because it's going to be over one day, can't do it forever, they're going to have to transition into something else. And if they've got the right character, man, they can do whatever they want, right? And I really want them to think, like we're talking about here, entrepreneurship it's real and it's available to them. So yeah, man, that's what I'm doing now. I mean, there's a few other projects on the go. I don't know if I want to share it right now. I want to keep it a secret or kind of, until it develops a little bit more. But there's more things, that I've got sort of, that I want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm focused on what I'm currently doing, without getting too far ahead.
So fitness coaching, health and wellness, also now with kids, kind of working with them on mindset and development. And a secret one that no one knows yet.
Secret, bro. I gotta feed you.
Yeah.
Hey, life coach. I mean, if you're looking for, so if you're watching this podcast, if you need assistance, hit me up on Instagram at Chatowens2. You can email me from that. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Hey, I'm a husband. I'm a father, and my kids are older now though, 21, 19, and 16. So
21 months, 21 years.
Yes, it's different levels, man. But my 21-year-old, he's still, what did you say your 2-year-old is doing? He's what?
Go fast and break things.
Yeah, he's still kind of on that path. This boy, you watching, son, you behave.
Well, innovation comes in that process, so hopefully he's innovating, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But look, man, it's been a blessing.
Awesome.
I'm excited where things are at. Yeah, 2025, was a rough start for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing because it forces you to slow down and really be precise, dissect things, and it keeps the hunger going. But I love adversity. It just keeps the hunger fresh.
A rocket needs to blow out some of that fire for it to take off. So hopefully that's the beginning of this year for a lot of people, me included. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, yo, Sage, like, I mean, what you got going on, and like,
Oh,
how they
yeah.
can find you, people can find you. Yeah.
Real quick, I was here as a guest before, so always fun with y'all. People can find me at Sage Hacks. Period. Like, just go look up Sage Hacks. You'll see me on the social. I'm cruising on X, but what I do, why I do is I just want to, I'm on a mission to eradicate poverty by creating a world of opportunity. And what does that look like is just building businesses, helping people build better character, building leaders, and etc. I have multiple businesses that we talked about that I try to build. Not that I just want to have my hands, is that there's problems and I find ways to just solve them for myself. And then it becomes it's a product and a problem because there's a lot of people have the same issue. So some of those are, you can go if you need your car fixed, New Auto.
I need that.
Yeah, New Auto.
My dashboard's got all them yellow, orange buttons, orange lights going on right now. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah, well, the good news too is
Yeah.
if you're a first timer, you get free diagnostic too. So I mean, you save $200.
I'm in.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So that's New Auto.
And can I say I know Sage?
you should say.
Yeah. Give me the Sage Sage discount. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to see if you're following the D and D's.
There is actually a due process. I'll show you that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so New Auto's the automotive shop, right? And that was to create, safer streets, right? And that was the whole thing. Was like, how can we create safer streets? We're more than a mechanic, right? We're not just a mechanic. But that was New Auto. Right now, what I have is you can go to getbossnow.com. And that's where we are your recruiter for virtual assistants globally, but where we also thrive is local hires. So we do thrive in hiring local. We deal and work with a lot of brick and mortar service-based businesses. Construction, blue collar is really a heavy industry that we're in, but we do work in there. And then a big project that I'm on that no one really has access to yet, unless you got in on the free trial. When we had 20 people that we could log in, is leadgetters.com. It's going to be a conversion system, pretty much. Everybody focuses on lead generation, which is all top, middle funnels, but we focus on bottom funnel. So we're the cats that when a lead comes in, we turn leads into lead getters. We convert them and then we turn them into your ambassador, something that's coming tech-enabled, AI-empowered. So that's what I'm doing right now. And hopefully the Lead Getters one is something that is a plug and play system for entrepreneurs that are just starting, that don't know what to do, how to do it. These funnels, these systems, these workflows, automations are already there for you with SOPs, so you can edit them yourselves and then you can thrive instantly. But those are the projects that I'm working on. And eventually I want you guys on my podcast called Flow with Sage, where we talk with rebels, innovators, and game changers. So I would love to have a conversation with y'all on there. Yeah, but Sage Hacks.
Flow with Sage.
Flow with Sage.
Is it IG available right now?
It's all under Sage Hacks.
Sage Hacks. All right.
Yeah. Sage Hacks will be the thing. And then, maybe you can help me with that.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
You get your life hacks.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Cornerstone Community Chiropractic because they got a free plug the whole podcast. I was like, yo, I seen it right there, dude. I don't know if that was intentional or what,
That's not my business, by the way, but a very good friend of mine. I carry this Yeti everywhere. But
It's a free chiropractor.
Yeah.
I need my back.
I'll make sure to get y'all some.
Hey, Sage, we would love to, I think this season we're going to just be doing a little bit more of these roundtable / mastermind kind of conversations and stuff. I think today was really cool just talking through, I thought SOP was a great, conversation piece. Also just the mindset of hope that you can, right? I think doubt is one of those things that just doesn't do anybody good. We don't want that D. You know what I mean? We want the do, document, and delegates. The doubt, let's get out.
Yeah.
It's out, get out.
But yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Pono, Chad, Sage. This was a really fun episode too. So, we're gonna Shaka out.
Shaka, thank you guys.
Out.
Aloha.
All right, man. That was cool. Hey, there's a lot better, yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
You got more massive, my man.
Yeah, bro. I'm in my growth phase right now.